South. So I think
There was something interesting to say about that.
Early, they weren't expected to have that 13-game win streak like they did last year.
This is the gift that God has given me to be able to help.
Thanks to them, my friend.
I'm not.
Am I correct?
you're correct.
Why blame? Why you're blaming?
I have a question for Carolyn. Carolyn, hold on. I have a question for you.
Yeah, no,
It's-
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're back on another episode of the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by Unsolicited Role Models. The role models you may not want, but you may just need. All right, we are back. Dougie, Drusty. Let's get it rolling with tonight. We got the Washington Commanders at 7-3, taking on the 7-2 Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah,
Who do we think got winning this game?
I say whoever wins this, I think wins the division.
I think so too.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles just because I feel like they're more talented on defense, and they're not gonna let, like the Steelers did, not let Jay and Daniels run, because that's what they're predicated on offensively with Washington.
Yeah.
They're predicated on them running the ball. Jay and Daniels getting out there like a Lamar, like a younger Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
Getting out there, he's running the ball and everything. And they're not going to let him do that. They're going to say, you're throwing it on us. And that's all you're going to do. And with the Eagles' offense, I feel like they could do both. They could throw it because they have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and then they can run it with Barkley.
Yeah, so the way I look at tonight's game is I think this is a make or break game for the Washington Commanders. Now, I know they've been one of the best teams in football, but it's how are they going to bounce back from last week's loss? That's the key for me, is how are they going to bounce back? And I think the Eagles have the momentum coming back home after destroying the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I know the Cowboys are a joke of a team right now.
Yeah.
But a win is a win, and the Philadelphia Eagles played good football on the road, and they're coming back home against a Washington Commanders team that was steamrolling through everybody.
Yeah.
And they lose last week, so now it's how do we bounce back against this division rival?
Well, I also think it's like straight to schedule. Like they had a weaker schedule. No offense, I mean they were last. I think they were last year.
They were one of the worst teams.
Yes. For them to bounce back and everything, that's like really good for them. But at the same time, you're going to play those weaker opponents.
Mm-hmm.
So when you play those weaker opponents, you're going to win a lot of games.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
because then when you play, you play the three teams they lost to. Tampa at the beginning of the week, when Tampa was offensively good, they could do everything around the ball. Baltimore, that's same thing, offensively good. And then you play the Steelers that could lock you down when they had to.
Mm-hmm.
So for them, it's a big test, but who knows?
Now, if you could go on the road and beat your division rival in Philly on a primetime game, that says a lot for this organization and this team moving forward. I truly believe it. This is going to be a good team.
I'm going to say this. I think they will go to the playoffs as a wild card or as one of the 4 seeds. I'll say that because I think after the Detroit Falcons, either one out of the West, and Eagles and stuff. I think they're the number 5 seed. I think Washington will have that 5th seed.
Yeah, if you look at it right now, you got the line, and this ain't in order. This is just based on best win-loss record.
Best records.
You got the Lions, then you have Philly, then you have Washington, then you have Arizona, then you have Atlanta.
Yeah. What can I tell you right there?
This is the first time, and I don't mean to cut you off, but this is the first time where you have divisions with all winning records. I think last year you had one of the teams at 8-9.
Tampa.
In the NFC South.
It was Tampa, yep.
And I think that was back-to-back years, even one year with Brady.
Yep, it was. I think they were actually 8-9, I think.
I think that last year in Tampa
I
they were.
think 8-9. I believe he was 8-9 in his last, and then hosted a wild card game and lost to Dallas.
Yeah.
So
So it's a good NFL season. There's not many.
I
You
just
have a
feel like-
lot of bad teams, but you also have a lot of good teams.
I just feel like both sides are very open if you think about it in the playoff spot, because if you go to the AFC, you have the four teams like I said like before, Chiefs, Baltimore, Houston, and Buffalo, and then after that will be Pittsburgh,
Mhm.
and then you could say Chargers. That last spot, it's open to anybody, honestly.
I agree with you. There's not many favorites for this realistically
it's
when
not
you look
really-
at it.
Yeah, like there's no like the AFC is wide open. The Dolphins could bounce back. Even the shitty Jets could bounce back.
I hate to say it again, but I don't think they
Even
will.
the Patriots could bounce back.
Yeah, there's not many.
It's wide open. Like that's the part. Like, it's so wide open. Same with the NFC. Like after Washington, it's wide open for people. I mean, same with like Green Bay's like a little hit or miss. Now
They're
lost
6-3, but
yeah, they're 6-3, but they gotta play Detroit again. They gotta play Minnesota twice, and one more time.
like I know the Chiefs. I know the Chiefs are 9-0, but I don't think they're the best team in football. If you ask me.
No, I think the best team in football right now will be, besides them, would be the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they're the best team. But out of the AFC, who do you think out of AFC is more of a threat to them?
I could go either way. I could go with Buffalo, but if I want to,
just stay in the AFC.
if I want to go, well, this is AFC.
Okay.
I like Buffalo, but if I were to go with a realistic team that could knock out the Chiefs and get to the Super Bowl, I have to, just because of who their coach is and the system they've ran for the last 20, 25 plus years, however long it's been, probably the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I was going, yeah, because Baltimore's defense is a little miss at the point right now. So I feel like Kansas City could come back on that. With Buffalo, they actually are playing very well. So I could see, we'll see this Sunday. I will probably get a preview of like the games and everything, what will happen. But yeah, I actually am liking Pittsburgh to be that upset. We'll see this Christmas. We'll see Christmas Day of what Pittsburgh could bring to if they can knock them off.
Yeah, again, if you're just joining us, this is the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. It's pretty nice outside here, so I figured I'd do the show from outside. There's Mr. Pickle. That's what I was looking at the whole time.
It was a pickle. It's an emotional pickle.
Emotional support pickle.
Yep.
I guess Jimmy had to bring it on the show every time I go after him.
No, because I've
He
been going
needs
after
that
you.
support.
No.
Oh, it's for me, apparently.
Yeah, because I've been going after you lately about, the Giants winning 5 games.
Well, the
They're
Giants
not
suck.
They're not winning any more games.
Okay. I
Bengals
could accept
being
that.
Bengals being the best team.
There's still plenty of football left.
Yeah, but do you think they're going to go beat... They're done with Baltimore. We'll say that. Do you think they beat Pittsburgh at least twice? Once, I could see.
Once. It has to be at
Once.
least once. There's no way they win
Once. They gotta play somebody decent coming up, I think. Oh, they gotta play a Chargers this weekend. That's a tough order.
both. That's a test.
Because they have arguably the number one defense right now, excuse me.
Well, like I said, there's plenty of football left.
Yeah.
They may be 4-6, but the 6-7 spot by Denver going on a 2-game losing streak, it
Yeah.
opens the door for a lot of teams.
It opens
Not
the
just
door.
Cincy, but the
Yeah.
Dolphins, the Jets. Denver still has it.
I can't believe we're still talking about those teams.
I
and
know,
everything.
but
Especially
that's just based on how that spot is from 6 to 7.
Yeah, because the Colts could sneak on in if Anthony Richardson actually shows up and plays, like they could win. They could go far.
Because let's be real with ourselves. The Houston Texans have not run away with that division.
But they already beat Indy twice already. So if they do
Yeah, so
go
they'll
to a
have the
draw
tiebreaker.
and Houston will have overall win. Jacksonville is poop, and so is Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the team they have now in Houston, they'll still be. But I don't even any wild card team that goes to play Houston. I'm gonna take the wild card team to beat Houston because I just don't think, especially I want to see what Collins coming back, what that would do.
Yeah,
When
I
Collins
agree.
comes back, that will be we'll see the difference maker. But if it doesn't make any difference and they're still dropping games, then that tells me that there's a major problem going in there. And do we have to reconsider CJ Stroud having a best year because of the schedule they had? Like
Yeah.
Daniel Daniels is too. Think about it. Houston was the laughingstock of that team 2 years ago.
They're worse. You could say the same about Washington.
That's what I'm saying. Washington and Houston are the same team, just different a time. Like Dan Quinn comes in for Washington, and he's a defensive coach, and that offense is what we're talking about more than a defense.
Yeah.
Same with the coach for Houston. He's a defensive mind head coach. The offense is taken off.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like they're doing something to change and predicate, but they're pretty much the same team. Same exact team they both are. I even say Detroit. Detroit's the same team too. Just last year's team's Detroit. This year they're totally different. Their defense
Yeah, they're
is
a
so
better
much,
team than they were
Their
last year.
defense is so much better. Their offense is always great. Last year, the defense was not that great. That's what I feel like. That's what Detroit, Washington, and Houston are pretty much the same team.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we are going to give our predictions for the MLB Award winners. That's up next on the Doug Saravo Show. We'll see everybody in just a few. We will be right back.
Get your pickle.
Why do I need that?
Going for the Super Bowl.
Heck,
That
no,
little
hold
hope
on, hold on,
going
hold
to
on.
the
Listen.
Super Bowl.
Hold on, because that's not what Rogers said. Rogers said, I just care about winning the MVP. I don't care about winning.
No matter, I don't have to worry about my feelings to understand that.
And I was like, oh god, how do I stop this? So I
Look at that water behind me, James.
Jesus says in the scripture, they need to live through experience of their own.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. You can follow us on all your podcast applications, YouTube and Facebook Live, Saravo Broadcasting, Saravo
Everything.
Show, everything basically, and now TikTok. All right, MLB Award predictions. So I'm going to start with who I think is going to win these awards, and then we'll head to Jimmy. So
Okay.
I'm going to start with American League Rookie of the Year. Your nominees are Colton Cowser, Lucas Gill, and Austin Wells. And honestly, I know many people aren't going to go this route, Jimmy, but I'm going with Austin Wells of the New York Yankees. I just think he's going to turn into a star catcher in Major League Baseball. I like the way he manages the plate. I like the way Austin hits the ball. He had a big hit in, I think it was a World Series game. He's a phenomenal catcher.
Yeah.
I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year this year.
He definitely can. He's definitely runners, but I think it's who was the favorite again? I forgot who the favorite was.
Colton Cowser's the favorite.
He's been playing really good, honestly. He probably will get it, honestly, but that's a good second guy that could I wouldn't be surprised if they went in this direction type of person.
Yeah.
But no, I think Cole is gonna probably take it, honestly.
So National League side, you got Jackson Turrio of the Milwaukee Brewers, Jackson Merrill of the San Diego Padres, and Paul Skeens of the Pittsburgh Pirates. I think this one is going to go down to the wire. I think it could be Jackson Turrio because the Brewers did go far. But for being a rookie, the way he performed this year, I think Paul Skeens is going to win it of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
That's what I was going towards. I was going towards him because he played phenomenally for them. He was so hard to beat when you played against him, and that's why half the wins are because of him.
All right, American League side for the manager of the year, you got A.J. Hinch of the Detroit Tigers, Matt Cortaro of the Kansas City Royals, Stephen Vogt of the Cleveland Guardians. And for me, I'm going with the former Houston Astro, AJ Hinch. He has the Detroit Tigers where I said they would be. And this is a team that's going to compete for the World Series within the next few years. If not next year, they have the team. They have the young talent in place. So AJ Hinch is the manager of the year for the American League. What about you, Jimmy Drust?
I'm liking the Cleveland manager. I think from last year they were like on the cups of in the wild card spot to going all the way to the the ALCS to play the Yankees. I think that's a lot better for him, because I like how it's not like how football is, where it's like it ends at the end of the season. It's through all the playoffs and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So like I just feel like he did more. Like don't get me wrong, Detroit manager fantastic to get him going and to get him where they were. But for him to go that far and the Cleveland head coach to go, I think I'm gonna go with them.
All right, National League side, you got Carlos Mendoza, not related to David Mendoza.
Maybe he is.
You never know. That's the New York Mets. You got Pat Murphy of the Milwaukee Brewers, Mike Sheed of the San Diego Padres. I think Mike Sheed of the San Diego Padres could win this, but he had a great team on paper.
Yeah.
But when you look at what Carlos Mendoza and the New York Mets did, there's no reason why he cannot win this award. There's no reason why he can't win this award.
Same thing. He went farther with that team and took them to NLCS against the world champions.
Yeah.
Like a good team, a best team on paper, and there for us to be in that situation and to take a couple games away from them, I think that's more kudos to him. I'm going with Mendoza.
Me too. All right, American League Cy Young. We got Emmanuel Clase, Cleveland Guardians closer, former Met pitcher Seth Lugo of the Kansas City Royals, Detroit Tigers Tariq Skubal. I honestly think we're going to see Seth Lugo win this award just because he has been performing the last few years, and no one has performed well like Seth since he took over the starting role in Kansas City. He has good numbers. I think he went like 16-7 on the year. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But he played phenomenal this year, and he was part of the reason why the Kansas City Royals were where they were this year. They lost to the Yankees, but he performed well. He was actually 16-9 with a 3 ERA, 181 strikeouts.
Yeah.
And I think the Mets mismanaged Seth. He could have been a good starter, but they kept him in the bullpen.
Yeah, I think they did suffocate him a little too much at the end of his career. Because I think the year before that, he was like the starter. He was pitching very well. Or he came in as like, if it was a bad like fourth inning, he came in to close it out and to pitch the rest.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he does deserve it. But I'm going to go with the closer from Cleveland.
Interesting pick.
I think because when it was close games or they're up by one, he always found a way to close out the games and take it away.
Yeah.
He rarely like let up anything go, and he's mostly like when you knew he was coming up, you knew you had to like had the best hit of your life, or he was gonna make you suffer.
Mm-hmm.
So I love Seth, but I'll go with the guy from Cleveland.
All right, National League side, we got Chris Sale of the Atlanta Braves, Paul Skeens of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and Zach Wheeler of the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, can he make history and win Rookie of the Year and Cy Young, Paul Skeens? I do not think so, honestly. I do not see it happening.
It's usually if somebody wins one, they don't win the other.
Yeah, it may happen, but I don't think the vote is going to go that way.
Yeah.
But I look at Philadelphia Phillies starting pitcher Zach Wheeler. He went 16-7 on the year. ERA under 3, 2.57. Strikeouts 224, 0.96 WHIP. He has proven to be a great pitcher throughout the last few years. He has had Tommy John.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Wheeler is one of those key reasons why the Philadelphia Phillies have been where they have been the last few years.
Especially this year.
Mm-hmm. He has developed into an ace, and a lot of teams do not have aces And this is a guy that missed almost 2 full seasons for Tommy John. He came back with the Mets. Then they let him walk. He went to the Phillies. And he's been a great pitcher with the Phillies. 59-32 record. This guy's your Cy Young for the year.
I'm going more towards your side. I'm liking Zach Wheeler. I think he pitched phenomenally the whole season, and I think he was like the bright spot of that team. When they were like going towards the end, they were going down. I think he was the bright spot for that team. So I'm gonna go with Zach Wheeler.
All right, now it's time for MVP. On the American League side, you got Aaron Judge, you got Juan Soto, and you got Bobby Witt Jr. of the Kansas City Royals. And for me, I'm not going with Bobby.
Yeah,
I'm not going with Aaron Judge.
Juan Soto.
I don't think Judge deserves MVP this year, and it has nothing to do with his playoff performance. I think, despite the year Aaron Judge had, that the New York Yankees would not be there without Juan Soto.
Yeah,
I truly believe that. I know Judge has the better numbers, but like I say, it's most valuable to your team. Juan Soto was not the best player on the Yankees. It was Aaron Judge. But when you look at the impact that Soto had on the Yankees, and I said it last year when we did a show, I said, if the Yankees want to go to the World Series, if they want to win the World Series or at least get there, they have to acquire a bat like Juan Soto. And no one has been right like I have been right on this issue. So Juan Soto is your MVP.
you are right with the numbers for Aaron Judge, but I think if Juan Soto was not there for the Yankees, they would not be in a spot they were in.
Agree, which is why he's most valuable
That's why
to that team.
I'm going with Juan Soto as well. I'm liking.
Good.
I think don't wrong. Bobby played phenomenal for Kansas City. I think he was the reason why they got into the playoffs. But I think Juan was the reason why they got into the World Series because of him. And even in the World Series, Juan Soto was hitting better than Aaron Judge.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's Juan Soto all day.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. National League side, you got Frankie Lindor, Ketel Marte, and Shohei Ohtani. Now, I don't want to hear this bullshit about Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani this, Shohei Ohtani that. No disrespect to Ohtani. Yes, he's probably the best player throughout Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's MVP. We're not voting for the best player. We are voting for who's valuable. Who is valuable? Dodgers would have gone back to the postseason without Ohtani. Dodgers would have gone to the World Series without Ohtani. I don't know. He could have been that missing piece. But he didn't have much impact in the World Series. He didn't. He went maybe, 3 for 19? Your two stars, Judge and Ohtani, both struggled. We both know that. They both struggled. Valuable. That's what people don't understand. It's valuable. And Lindor was valuable to the New York Mets. He's the reason why they got to the postseason. Yeah, you could bring up Jose Iglesias, OMG. You could bring up all these other reasons, Grimace, whatever you want to bring up. Go ahead, bring it up. But based on these nominees, Lindor was valuable. When I was at Game 3 of the NLDS, and the stadium was quiet because everyone was like, oh, here we go. We're not going to score. Bases loaded multiple times, and we can't score. 1-0, Lindor hits a grand slam. Bottom 6, the place goes loud, and they ultimately beat the Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
People get that confused. Best player, when they hear MVP, they think, oh, it's the best player. No, it's who's valuable to the team. And I go with Frankie Lindor.
This is so hard because I think Lindor definitely does deserve it. But it's not voted on by it's the people who vote or it's the MLB.
I think it's the baseball writer. It's either the GMs or the Baseball Writers Association.
So I feel like they're gonna go more towards Shohei.
Yeah.
Just because I think what you said was on him ahead. I think he was the missing piece to that team because they went to even the last couple of years they went to the playoffs and couldn't get it done. They lost to the Texans last year. Or no, Arizona. They lost to Arizona last year. Even before that, they lost to, I think, to Philly or something like that.
And they lost to the Braves in 21.
Exactly. So when Shohei did come in, it breathed new air into them. So I think
I understand that, but at the same time, he did not make an impact on the World Series.
Yeah, but not the World Series, but everything else though.
I know that, but
regular season, he made it.
I understand that. Now get your emotional pickle out because you may need it. Everybody, including myself, loves making fun of Aaron Judge for struggling in the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Shohei Ohtani did the same thing as Judge. And because of the Dodgers winning the World Series, everyone forgets Ohtani went maybe 4 for 19. Everyone forgets that. Now, I understand he was the first player to that, did 50-50. I understand all that.
Yeah.
I understand that. I get that. He made history. He had a great year. I'm not taking that away from Shohei Ohtani. I think he's one of the best players, if not the best player, in my late 20s, early 30s.
You're 30, motherfucker.
I ain't denying that fact. Yeah, 10 years until I'm 40, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm not denying that, but when it comes, if I was a baseball writer, I'm looking at valuable. We could go back to 2017-18 National Hockey League Hart winner. It was Taylor Hall of the New Jersey Devils because he carried them to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think Connor McDavid and Nikita Kucherov were the nominees. And they had better years than Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall had 94 points, and Kucherov had like 138. And McDavid might have had a crazy year like he always does. But Taylor Hall won that MVP because the Devils got to the postseason.
Because of him.
Because of Taylor Hall.
100% agree.
Can't take anything away from Keith Kincaid for carrying us that year.
Exactly.
He went like 25-16. But Taylor Hall won MVP because he carried us to the playoffs.
I want it to be Lindor. I want it so bad to be Lindor. But the way they're going to look at it, they're going to go towards Shohei. I would want Lindor. That's what I would want.
think he deserves it. I think he earned it.
But they're going to go towards more Shohei. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, and that's where people are like, oh, you shouldn't talk politics when it comes to sports. And it's not just the Republican, and they think, oh, Republican versus Democrat. No, there's politics involving sports. People are going to vote. Oh, it's Shohei Ohtani. He had a great year. We're going to vote for him MVP just because it's Ohtani and he had the better numbers.
Yeah.
But they don't look at the details of the game. Lindor carried the Mets throughout the year. Yeah. Ohtani did not carry the Dodgers throughout the year. Well, that would be my closing argument.
Yeah.
Is who carried the team. Don't vote based on the name. Don't vote based on the numbers. Valuable. Look up the definition of valuable.
No, 100% agree with you. Because as soon as he switched to be the first pitcher or the first batter, that whole dynamic changed.
Yeah.
I think he was the reason why. So I want to go towards Lindor, but I know everybody else is going to go towards Shohei. A lot of people are going to go towards Shohei, but I would like to see Lindor win it.
It may be a close vote, like a super close vote.
Yeah.
But I truly think Lindor deserves it.
Yeah, I think so too. If he could get it, I mean, great for him. What a great because isn't he also up for Silver Slugger too? I believe.
I think so, and he wasn't up for Gold Glove.
Yeah, he's up for Silver Slugger. So I mean,
but everyone's like, "Oh, Ohtani." He's not the reason why the Dodgers got to where they are. I hate to say it, but he's not the reason.
They just had an already great team with Betts, Freeman, Turner, and all of them. So I mean, that's why, and the pitching staff was phenomenal. For Flaherty, Moto, and all of them, they already had a stacked team, and they already put all their money in their baskets, and they rolled the dice, and they won. So, we'll see. That's why the offseason is going to be very big, whoever make the moves and everything.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't want to hear, keep politics out of sports. No, it's in there. It always will be. No. Not the politics we think about.
Exactly.
But when it comes to voting, to voting certain things, I look at it and I'm like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
Look at the definition of valuable. Look at more things to it than the numbers, because people look at home runs and RBI. No, that's not the reason. That's not the reason.
What impact did that player make to that team when certain things happen?
Because going to these games, going to Met games, the crowd went wild when Lindor walked up to the plate.
Exactly, because Lindor is Mr. New York. Like him and Alonso are pretty much Mr. and Mr. Met. Like they're Mr. Met right now. They're like the Mets, like poster boys.
Yeah.
Like,
So if it's not Lindor and if it's not a close vote, then I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what's gonna happen. But speaking of rewards, I don't know. We have something else after this talk. We are halfway through the season of football. Do you want to go through our awards? Like who we think should win?
Well, I was going to save that for the last segment of the day.
Let's do it then. No, okay.
After our parlay.
Okay, let's do our parlay. Let's take a commercial break.
Yeah, we'll be right back, guys.
Of
It's time
course.
for Lepore betting. Let's see if we get
Lepore
this one right. Let's go.
Betting. It was named after you because you are probably known for losing a lot of bets, especially when it comes to the horse
My
racing.
lightning 5 picks. These are the ones I like. I mean, I love them. In my picks, you'll hear them later on. That is my best bet.
You'll hear it. It's betting.
Yes, that is my best bet.
All right, guys, it's time for Lepore betting, which is sponsored by Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need.
Oh.
All right. Jimmy didn't know we were back from commercial.
Sorry, I need my emotional pickle.
All right, so are we going to do a football game?
Okay.
I don't know if we should do a money line or we should do the over.
I'm going to say the over.
It's 49.5.
I was going to say the over because both offenses are really good. It might be turned to a shootout. I like the over.
So we would need what? How many points? 30, and we would need at least 30
You
from
need
both
50 altogether. If it's 49, you need 50.
All right, so we need like a
So
30.
if it's like 24 to 25, we hit. Or no.
Okay.
If it's
No,
like
it'd be-
25, 25 or 28, 25, we hit.
Yeah, we need at least over the 25.
And I think it's going to go over that. Both teams' offenses are really good. And it's going to be that it's going to be that type of game where you're going to see a lot of deep balls down the field and a lot of big plays from both teams. So I would go with the over.
All right, we'll do the over for that. All right, so that's the first one.
Okay. We're doing 4 again?
Yeah, we'll do the 4.
Okay.
4 for 4. All right, NBA. Oh, there's only one game tonight.
Who's the game?
Dallas and Utah.
Give me Dallas. Oh, my God. Whatever points, spread, whatever, go with Dallas.
Yeah, they're negative 400.
They're negative 400? Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go with I would definitely go with Dallas.
Yeah, you want to do Dallas?
Dallas, of course. The Jazz is like the worst team in the division right now.
No, I know, but with my luck, you never know.
No, like last week's luck when I told you to go with the Devils and the Devils beat the shit out of freaking the Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
You don't listen to me. All right, then we got what, hockey tonight?
Yeah, Devils Panthers.
Again?
Yeah, they got back-to-back somehow in Florida.
In Florida?
Yeah, back-to-back.
It's what? Who made the schedule?
I don't know, but they did.
Back to back? I could see it being from Florida to New Jersey.
Yeah, I could see like a home and home, but not
Yeah, but a home? How do you do that? God.
I think this game could go either way.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe, honestly, we could do the over for this.
What's the over?
6.
So that they score 7 goals each? Oh.
It's just got to be a 4-3 game.
4-3 or 6-6 goes to overtime, then it gets to.
Not last Tuesday, this past Tuesday, it was 4-1.
Yeah.
So it was 5.
5.
But I don't know if they have Bobrovsky in net, it may be tough.
Well, you could check who's in the net. You could check who's in there if you click on, like, if you go to ESPN and check it that way. It'll tell you who's goaltending in the net. It should be, because what, it's 1 o'clock? Yeah, like 2 o'clock. Yeah, I could see them, whatever time it is. I could see them doing it that way. Like, they should post it up and everything.
And I was thinking maybe doing the Sharks over the Rangers, but
Sharks aren't that good either, though. The Rangers
I
are
know.
actually decent. Like, I would never.
Jake Allen and Sergei Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky is. Wait, who's our goaltender tonight?
Jake Allen.
Oh God. Jesus Christ. Stay away from that game. Stay away from that game.
But I'm also liking the Flyers to beat the Senators.
Isn't Ottawa been playing really good lately?
Yeah, but the Flyers are due for a win.
If you feel that gut, go with it then. I would go. And then what's the other hockey games?
You got Winnipeg versus Tampa, Blues versus Buffalo, Boston, Dallas, Montreal, Minnesota, Islanders,
Give me
Canucks.
Dallas to beat Boston.
Oh, okay.
Give me Dallas to beat Boston. And those are your 4 games.
Yeah, those are. We got a 4-leg parlay. Commanders, Eagles, 49.5 over.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Mavericks money line, Flyers money line, Stars money line.
Yeah, I'm like that's not bad.
Yeah, I like it. All right, that's our odds for the parlay. You guys don't have to do it. If you do it, bet responsibly.
I mean, we're 1 for 2 right now.
Yeah, 1 for 2. So Dougie messed up last week.
Yeah, Dougie didn't listen.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to wrap the show up by giving our NFL Halfway Award winners.
Halfway, baby.
We'll be right back.
Especially going back to Columbus down.
Why? They were horrible this year.
Malibu and the diner.
These leaders of these countries.
All right, good. He's got his emotional pickle because I'm going to go at
I'm ready.
All right. So we're going to do our NFL award winners. Are we doing them all, or are we just going to do what we think is? Because there's a lot. You got MVP. You got Walter Payton, defensive rookie. You got Coach of the Year, comeback, defensive, offensive.
So let's
offensive
do
rookie. Let's just do the ones that are well known. We'll do MVP.
So you have it. So
we'll do Coach of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year.
Okay. So you can start whatever one you want to start off with.
All right. I'm going to do the Coach of the Year.
Yes.
And I'm going to go with Sean McDermott of the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
Because I don't think a lot of people expected the Buffalo Bills to be where they are today. No. Now, I know you could give credit to Josh Allen. I know you could say he's an MVP.
Mm-hmm.
But to be 8-2, to keep that composure in the locker room when you get rid of a lot of guys, you don't bring guys back. I'm sure in the back of your mind as a player, you're thinking, what's this front office doing? Are they rebuilding? What's going on here? And they've been playing better football than they have in the last few years, in my mind. So I see this.
Team.
I see this. Well, last year they were a little bit inconsistent.
Yeah.
So I see this team being where they are today because of Sean McDermott.
Okay. That's a very good pick. I feel like a lot of people might go towards Andy Reid because of, undefeated and stuff. Or Dan Campbell because that team's 8-1. I'm going to go with, and you're probably going to be like, what the hell? I'm going with Mike Tomlin. I think because to switch for having Justin Fields go 4-2, let's begin the season. For that, everybody was doubting them that they're going to have a losing season, the first losing season of all time. And you bring in a guy like Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, and then Justin Fields starts, he goes 4-2. midway through the season almost, you start Russell Wilson. And everybody was going crazy, like, you're stupid. This is ridiculous. You have a guy that's 4-2, and then you're starting somebody that hasn't played. The Steelers are 7-2 that played a decent team last week, and also kept his composure, dominated defense. The offense is back to where they were 5 years ago, and he kept his whole composure. That team always gets ready for him and everything. I think he is your coach of the year.
Interesting.
Why do you say that?
Because I was going to say Mike Tomlin, but a lot of people knew the Steelers were going to be good because he was there.
Well, they'd be good, but the problem with it was the quarterback issue that we had. That was the thing. Like the switch midway through season. A lot of head coaches wouldn't have done that. And Dan Campbell had Stafford and Goff. Do you think he would have switched? No.
No.
If it was Mahomes and Josh Allen, do you think Andy Reid would have switched? No. Well, Lamar Burrow, you think Harbaugh would have switched?
No.
That's what I'm saying. He made the decision. He saw something in those players to be like, I want Russell Wilson as my quarterback. And he have not proven them wrong at all. So I think he is your head coach of the year.
All right, so comeback player of the year. So I think you could go with someone like Kyler Murray. I think he's bounced back. He had a great year. I think you could go with someone like Bryce Young. I don't. I think he could be up there depending how he finishes the season.
Lower rank, yeah, you could put him on the list.
You could put him on the list.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm gonna go with. I got two choices that I think could go to get it.
Okay.
I think Joe Burrow could be one.
Yep.
But honestly, I'm going with Justin Herbert.
Okay. I like that. I like that one.
Yeah, I'm going with Justin Herbert. Because if you look at the year he had last year, the Chargers were the worst team in football. Maybe not
one of the worst teams.
Maybe not record-wise, but they were the worst team in football.
Defensively, horrible. Offensively, he was hurt, so they were just playing with backups at that point.
And if you look at prior years of Justin's career, rookie year, 6-9, 31 touchdowns. Then the next year, 9-8, 38 touchdowns. He's looking like an MVP.
Yeah.
10-7, they missed the playoffs. 25 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's
last year
pretty good.
Last year, 5-8.
Yeah.
20 touchdowns. So that number kept dropping. His numbers kept dropping. Didn't commit as many turnovers. But this year so far, the Chargers are 6-3. 66 completion. Almost 2,000 yards.
Yeah.
11 touchdowns. But what I like about this number, 1 interception.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't agree with the pick. I'm just agreeing that Justin Herbert has been better. I think it's also because of Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
I think he brought a lot of the defensive came back. The running game that was the key. When everybody was going crazy when they brought in J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards into the fold. And now they're running the ball, and now Justin Fields doesn't have to have the ball for so long in his hands. So you got quick guys around the corner. Quentin Johnson, Josh Palmer, Conkley's playing very well as a rookie and everything. So I think he does deserve it if it goes to him.
All right, Jimmy, who you got? And then we're going to do MVP.
Okay, so you said one of the names. He, from last year after the injury that he went through with his hands and everything, and I don't think he's going to win MVP. No, I'm sorry. He's in that conversation, but I don't think he wins it. But I will give Joe Burrow comeback play of the year. If they could somehow manage to get into the playoffs as a wild card team and just get in there and win all these games, I could see them. Joe Burrow deserves comeback player of the year. I think he's playing better. He's looking better, even though the team is not that great. And I think he just overall deserves it, especially from the last post Super Bowl. He has been decent, and then got hurt, and now he's showing all on us. And I probably have to apologize about saying that he's hurt and everything. Like, he gets hurt easily, which he does, but this year he's proven me wrong.
Yeah.
Just
About
this
time.
year.
About time.
But we'll see. But if they could somehow, they're 4-6, if they could somehow change it around, and even if the defense could minimize some of the offense of other teams, they could win games. But right now, he is, for me, the front runner of comeback player of the year.
I agree. We do have breaking news. The Yankees are loaning Steinbrenner Field to the Tampa Bay Rays for the 2025 season. So that's where the Tampa Bay Rays will be playing baseball next season.
Where are they playing?
Steinbrenner Field. It's in Tampa.
Okay.
It's the Yankees spring training facility.
Oh, okay. So are they going to enclose it, or they're going to just keep it open?
They'll probably keep it open.
Okay, so that's good for them, honestly. They needed that, honestly. I know it gets hot. It gets hot in Florida, especially around baseball time.
Yeah.
But no, that's good for them.
MVP. And this is where I make the same argument for all the whatever you want, however you want to call them. I don't know how to describe them. Not idiots, but you could say the uneducated or
people.
Yeah,
That's
whatever,
better.
however you want to call them.
Better term.
For MVP, because everyone's going to look at the best player, but valuable. Who's valuable to their team? And if you put in a guy like Daniel Jones on the Buffalo Bills, they're not 8-2.
No, they're like 2-8.
They're not 8-2. And I truly believe Josh Allen carried this Buffalo Bills team.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Josh Allen is my MVP. I don't have to go on why, because he's showing it right now. The record says it. Josh Allen, baby.
Listen, I'm going to agree with you, actually.
Yes!
And I'll tell you the reason why I'm going to say Josh Allen. Lamar is putting up ridiculous numbers. But they're like the Dodgers. They have all the team around them, all the playmakers, all this. Josh Allen is doing with no one. No one. And no one, even us, had the Bills last or third to last in the division. We had Miami or the Jets, one of them, and they look like dog water. No offense. I even think Miami could bounce back and go to the playoffs, but I digress. I just think that Josh Allen is carrying that team, and he's putting up ridiculous numbers, and he is most valuable to that team. He is very valuable. He is very same with Lamar. I think Lamar's valuable to that team too, because if he went down, that team would a little bit crumble, a little bit, but not a lot of it. Buffalo will crumble if they went downhill without Josh Allen. If Josh Allen got hurt.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
I think Josh Allen, he's shown why. I don't need no Stephon Diggs. I don't need his great defense. Do it my goddamn self. And you know what? He's proven why. So I think if he could, even if he beats Patrick Mahomes this weekend, I put him over Lamar because he actually beat Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So if he beat the first team to beat them, Buffalo Bills, that's your MVP right there.
And I would do anything to see a Buffalo Bills Super Bowl.
I would actually want them to see them winning, honestly.
I wouldn't do anything because they're not my team, but I would love to see it happen.
I would like to see them too, but they're going to get to Detroit. That's so hard because that would be such a great game with those two. I think
it would be fun.
We're gonna preview, I think, this year.
I think so, yeah.
I think Detroit does play.
They do. I think they play Buffalo.
I think they play Buffalo this year. They get at Detroit, I believe.
And I don't know much about the defensive sides, but Rookie of the Year, we'd have to agree it's Jaden Daniels on the offensive side of the ball.
Offensive side of the bill, yes, I'm going to agree with Jaden Daniels. I think it's unanimous. I think that defensive, I don't know who defensive rookie would be, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know much about this side of the ball.
Offensive player of the year, Jamar Chase.
I honestly would agree with you, but I think if Allen wins MVP, they would give that to Lamar.
Yeah, true. Or Henry, Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Henry's been playing good.
And if we're going defensive player of the year, T.J. Watt.
Yeah, I would probably say TJ just because he's the one that's been sticking out a lot.
Yeah, he is playing phenomenally right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. Like, he's just so good. And I feel like he got snubbed last year for it.
All right, so before we wrap up, it is my
prediction.
So last night I went to the Cleveland Cavaliers game in Philly.
I knew it was coming.
They went 13-0, and it was a fun game. But my prediction isn't going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Uh-oh.
It's going to stay in Philly.
The Eagles?
If the Sixers have a bad year this year,
ooh,
I could see Joel Embiid on the move. I don't know if it will be at deadline day or it will be in the offseason. But this season dictates Joel Embiid's future.
I'm going to say the same route as you, but I'm going to flip it to a different team that's struggling as well. I say end of the trade deadline, Giannis leaves.
Giannis, ooh.
Giannis Antetokounmpo goes to a team that needs a 4-5 guy.
That's interesting.
I think because they're going to struggle so much because they're an older team, and Giannis is still pretty much like in his prime. I'm going with Giannis Antetokounmpo to leave, to go to a contender.
Those are nice predictions.
Right.
Hot takes.
Hot takes, predictions. Who knows? It could come true or not.
You know, it could happen.
Who knows?
Jimmy Drust has Giannis on the move, and I have Joel Embiid leaving Philly. One way or the other.
Yeah, well, you have him towards the end of the year. I have him like mid-season leaving.
Yeah, it could be deadline or most likely after the year.
I'm going to set deadline for Giannis. Embiid, the only thing with Embiid, I don't like when he's saying that I don't want to play the back-to-back games. It's like, what happens towards the end when you're like on the playoff push and and there's back-to-back games?
Yeah, I saw him yesterday from my seats during like commercial break.
Yeah.
He'd be shooting the ball. Like, come on.
Did he even play?
No, he was in sweats.
Yeah, so like so he literally just did it for the money.
Yeah.
So he doesn't care anymore, and that's ridiculous. Like, you have a good, decent team, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, and all these role players you got, and then you just don't want to even play no more.
And they're 2-9, so.
Yeah, like I think they're going to be like the laughingstock that Detroit is.
He's not going to be there in the long run.
No,
I
don't think
say
either.
I hate to say it.
He might want to leave too, honestly.
Yeah. Like, I saw him doing this. Like, come on.
Yeah. You're MVP 2 years ago. Now you're just like that.
Now he's enjoying life.
Like Nikola Jokic is the reason why he's a 3-time MVP, because he actually puts in the work.
Yeah. One of the best in the game.
Yeah.
All right, as always, I'm your host, Dougie Doug, and we got Jimmy Drust. We'll see everybody next week. And then the following week, I believe, is Thanksgiving.
I believe so.
So we'll have a day off. I may put up an episode. Maybe we'll have the boys do something like we did last year. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see everybody next time. And if we don't see you in 2 weeks, enjoy your Thanksgiving and enjoy
don't
football.
Forget your emotional pickle.
Take care, guys. But
Don't
there's a
forget
lot
it.
of bad games on Thanksgiving, so you may want to enjoy your time with your family.
Yeah.
The games are pretty bad this year.
Wait,
See everybody.
who's the games this year? I know
You got Giants, Cowboys. So it's like, who would want to watch that?
I think we have Detroit and Chicago.
Yeah.
And who's that night game?
I think Green Bay's playing. I don't really know.
Is it
honestly,
Green Bay?
I think
Green
so.
Bay in Minnesota?
It might
Is
be.
it Green Bay or somebody else?
I just know they're not that
I
really.
think it's the Green Bay and the Saints.
I just know they're not really good matchups this year.
Yeah, the first game will be great. Detroit always is usually a good game.
Detroit. At least we're watching Detroit, who's a good team. But Giants, Cowboys.
Yeah, oh my God.
That's gonna be
Can we switch that to another game?
Can we, or can we maybe put my live show on?
No, because they freaking America's team.
Yeah, America's team. I'll see everybody next time.
especially going back to Columbus down.
Why? They were horrible this year.
So Malibu at the diner.
These leaders of these countries.
So Malibu at the diner part of the casino.
That they're gonna slip back a little bit. Ben,
Do you ever ask yourself the question as to
For this town, things that haven't been done before.
feel like
It's more than just Joe Biden, though. Like, it's just like people, even people.
Overpay for DeGrom, and I think this is a great way for us to gather together.
I'll be looking for another job after this is over. I can tell you that.
Here with your name behind it, hoping that.
Why didn't Trump fire Fauci? He could have gotten rid of him.
There's a lot of things you can have checked out. So
Talk whatever we want.
it's sports. Well, I'll tell you, no matter, I don't have to worry about my feelings to understand that.